Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning technically Monday the 2nd of September 2019, ending Friday the 6th, but really starting Tuesday because Monday is a bank holiday here in the U.S. or a stock market holiday for Labor Day, so we are closed. So it's a 4-day week. We just passed the traditional end of summer, and so usually September is when things start to go back to normal, and you go from September till April or May with a decent trading environment. It's been a little strange year, whereas last year was pretty solid all the way through, except for a couple months in the summer. This year, I think things got light around March, and have been a little bit awkward ever since then. Obviously, this last week has been horrible volume-wise. It's hard to tell if it's just summer, just what happens, or obviously we've got the hurricane coming, but that was after most of this has already started, or if this is people not really knowing what to make of what's going on in the economy with everything, the tariffs in China and all that stuff. So hopefully we do start to move in September one way or another, and we can get back to some more actionable trading. We had an okay week this week, but not as many trades as we typically like to see, and that's just really the bottom line, the end game there. All right, so here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market and futures forum. We've been sitting right here. This is exactly where we were at the end of April. So you're talking about 4 or 5 months of just sideways action. But when we moved up, we got the 13 sell signal. The risk line was the resistance. We have not yet gotten down to the static trend line, which is the red line. We're just in no man's land. But essentially, we've gone nowhere for five or 6 months. All right, let's look at crude oil. Down $1.55 today. Gold down $7.77. The S&P cash literally gained 1. By the way, if you ever have an end of August for the statement printing leading into Labor Day weekend on a Friday with a hurricane about to hit Florida, you would pretty much expect the market to do what? Nothing at all. And when you're up 1 on the S&P, that's the definition of nothing at all. So even though it gapped up and got a little bit interesting to the downside for a few minutes, this is not shocking. NASDAQ 100 down 11.31. That's pretty much a blip as well. Stocks up $9.10. The biotech's down 22.42. This is still, this has been so flat all year. And, if you take out just the first 2 days of January, 3 days, we kind of gapped up. We're still sitting inside that candle from the 3rd day of January. So the biotechs have gone nowhere all year. And the expression is, as go the banks and biotechs, so goes the market. Pretty much makes sense here. Small caps also usually a leader, and this thing's the same boat, sitting where it was back in January. So we've gone nowhere all year on this index. The VIX up $1.10, which is kind of interesting considering we didn't do anything. The trend closed at 0.81. 10-day moving average is back to 1.02. NASDAQ volume was only 1.6 billion. Again, I think this is even lighter than Wednesday, so this makes this, except for the day around 4th of July, the lightest holiday, or the lightest day of the year so far on volume for NASDAQ. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ was plus 113, so a few more stocks were up than down. On the New York, plus 381. Google, on the other hand, loses $3.71. Apple loses 27 cents, stuck between a risk line and a static trend line. Netflix down $3.03. Remember, there's a 13 buy signal in place on Netflix. Amazon down 10.11. Tesla up 3.90. Facebook gains 10 cents. Goldman Sachs gains 47 cents. All a blip. Hey, we talk about banks. One of the biggest ones overall, investment firms anyways. Goldman Sachs sitting exactly where it was the 2nd week of January. Another sign of the market going nowhere all year, so flat. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up 24 cents, near the all-time highs. The Dow was up just 41. We don't really care about the Dow. Okay, 10-minute candles for the week. So you can see the ES gaps up on Monday, then dead flat. Gaps up Tuesday, fills the gap, and closes even for the day. Gaps down Wednesday. I don't think it never quite filled the gap from Monday. Came back up to fill the gap and a little more, then went dead flat for 4 hours. Thursday gaps up, tries to pull back, makes a slightly new high, and then goes flat. Friday, the gap up, fill the gap, and closes even. Thursday's open and Friday's close are dead flat. But we left 2 gaps below, which is interesting. Got to remember that. Those usually will fill. NASDAQ side looks about the same. So there's nothing really to comment on in the market other than we still have the 13 sell signals in place and stuff like that. But, there's just the market's waiting on some stuff, clearly. Oops, sorry, wrong. Wrong screen. It's not the wrong screen. I just don't have the right window over here yet. Okay, here we go. So bank holiday on Monday. On Tuesday, final manufacturing PMI at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time. ISM manufacturing and construction spending at 10. On Wednesday, trade balance an hour before the bell. The Ward's total vehicle sales, whatever that means at some point during the day. Fed base book at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then here we go to Thursday. Challenger job cuts at 7:30 a.m. ADP non-farm employment change at 8:15. Revised non-farm productivity and initial and continuing jobless claims at 8:30, an hour before the bell. Final services PMI 15 minutes in. ISM non-manufacturing PMI along with factory orders at 10. Natty gas at 10:30. Crude oil inventories at 11. Remember, because of the holiday, crude oil gets moved to Thursday. And then on Friday, we've got the unemployment rate with the non-farm payroll numbers. Not probably a lot there to surprise us. Doesn't look super strong or anything like that. So it'll be interesting to see after we get back from Labor Day. Are we ready to go? September? How long does it take for volume to kick in? That's your measurement. Once you start to see volume kick in, you need to start paying attention every day and get back to being a trader, because that's what we do. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great Labor Day week.